Hey there, it's Brittany, and I'm back with an unboxing video for the Curated Bead box. This month, the theme is Enchanted Forest. So they always include what's in the box, and then they say the bead sizes and types may vary due to availability. All of the items are available on dollarbead.com using their model numbers. And each box also includes findings starter kit, which includes crimp beads, elastic, beading wire, memory wire, head pins, jump rings, ear wires, and lobster clasps. This is $20, and that includes shipping. So if you're interested in subscribing, you can use the coupon code TURQ, TURQST 35 for 35% off of your first box. So I will leave all of that information in the links below in the description. Let's see what's in this box. So they leave the key on the box itself, which is great, and you can just store your extras in this box if you have room for that. I tend to put everything in their own organizational ways within my room, but I might keep all these boxes in the box itself. Last month was the first month I've ever gotten this. So the first strand I'm seeing is this pale green faceted glass bead string, and it's 13 inches long. They're 10 millimeter beads. I used to use these a lot when I sold on Etsy. They're great for quick earrings. They're great as accent beads to really add some sparkle. Nice glass beads. Then we have some 7 by 8 millimeter gemstone beads. So they don't say what the gemstone is, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out which one of these. Well, there's a bunch of them, so I'm just gonna show you what I got. So I don't know which one this is, but it's really pretty. I'm trying to decipher what kind of gemstone it is. I think it's some kind of jasper, but this one is brown and gray and black. Very pretty. Let's see. And then there's another one that says 2 by 6 millimeter gemstone beads. Okay, so it's not 2 by 8 or 7 by 8 millimeter gemstone beads. It's 7 8 millimeter strands of gemstone beads. That's awesome. Okay, so we have a mix here, and they're all different colors, and there are 7 strands of them. Sorry, took me a second to kind of get with the program. So we have, I'm going to show you them separately, but I wanted to show you them all together. So here are the 7 strands. We have a light green and moving into browns. Those are nice. We have a mix that's like peach and cream and black and gray. And we have a little bit of pink. Look at this guy right there. That's pretty cool. We have the strand I originally showed you, which I think is jasper. Very nice. We have a black strand, like off black strand, a little bit more matte. This would be good for a men's bracelet. And there's a little bit of flash in that one. Can you see that? I don't know what stone that is that it has some flash in it. We've got some gray beads tending towards a little hint of pink and a little hint of green. These are great for just really quick gemstone bracelets. We have some dark green. I can't remember the name. Is this maybe serpentine? I'm not sure. Like really dark though. Mossy color. And then we have some what looks like Amazonite, dark Amazonite. These are really nice. I like these. That's cool. You get 7 strands of 8 millimeter beads, and they're 7 to 8 inches. So that can make you a stack of 7 gemstone bracelets. And if you're selling, you're more than made up your cost of the box there. Then we have 2 strands of 6 millimeter beads. So we have this strand here, and they say they're gemstone. They don't say what kind they are. They're still nice. They're light green, lemony green. And then we have off-white and gray strand. Very nice. Okay. Let's see. We have I thought I saw our findings kit here. So this findings kit is in silver. I think last month's was silver too, but I can't remember 100%. So we have some jump rings, some memory wire, some head pins, some elastic cord, some ear wires, some crimp beads, some lobster clasps, and some beading wire. Okay, that's pretty great. And then we have a 1 ounce green aqua lampwork glass bead mix. Let me find a bead tray. Okay, so we have some good focals in here. Look at this guy. That's pretty. And then we have some foil lined, a foil lined circle, some large hole beads. There's no leather in the package, but that would be really nice with leather. An aqua bead. And I'm guessing this might be different from box to box. I'm not 100% sure about that. This one's pretty cool. It's like green with some gold in the middle. Oh, I like this one. That would be a really nice focal on a bracelet. It's really sparkly. We have like a darker green, a couple lighter greens, and this twisty one that would also be a really nice focal on a bracelet. Very cute. Okay, and then we have 20 by 8 millimeter silver metal 3-hole rhinestone connectors. So it's 4 connectors. So these are just multi-strand beads. That would be good with the all those gemstone strands. Put those on a necklace or a bracelet. And then we have a 12 millimeter silver green glass pearl strand, approximately 18 beads. Okay. And then we have a 28 by 42 millimeter white dyed turquoise silver metal pendant. So let's see, it's a little dirty. Rub that off the pendant. And voila, it's very pretty. I like that. You can even patina it, but I think it looks nice the way it is. And then last but not least, 30 by 22 millimeter green striped oval lampwork glass beads, 5 beads. These are awesome. I don't have any lampwork beads that look like that. So I think those are pretty neat. And you can obviously build your stash with this box by having, 10 new strands, 9 new strands of gemstone beads and some focals, or you can just make stuff using the box. So I think what I'll do is make a piece just using the box, and then make a piece using stuff from my stash to coordinate. So stay tuned and we'll go ahead and make something out of this box. Okay, so I think we're gonna make like 4 pieces. I found some cute stuff. The first piece though we're gonna make is gonna be entirely just from this box. We're gonna use some of these green beads. We're gonna use the beading wire that came in the kit. We're gonna use a clasp and some crimp beads for this. And you know what? We'll actually probably make coordinating simple pair of earrings. And then I chose some of the lampwork green and blue kit beads. So I'm gonna open up my strand of beads. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the lampwork beads in the order in which I'd like them to be on the bracelet. So it's going to be an asymmetrical bracelet. And I just chose all the coin, like flat beads from that mix. And that's the order I want them in. And then the rest will be our green beads, which match these beads perfectly, and then everything else matches together with the silver foil. This one has gold foil in it, but that's totally fine. Yeah, we'll get going. Hold on one second. Let me open up my beading wire. So I'm going to leave the whole spool of wire connected. I'm not going to cut off a piece for the bracelet. I want to save as much as I can so I can make my necklace too. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of the crimp beads and one of our clasps. And we'll go ahead and find our crimping pliers. And I'm going to go ahead and put on our crimp bead. And one of our clasps. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp our clasp onto our wire to start. A little bit longer tail than that. And then what I want to do is make sure that our wires aren't crossed, and you could just flat crimp here, but I'm going to go ahead and folded crimp. So we want to make sure our wires aren't crossed. I'm going to move that crimp down just a little bit towards my clasp. And then I'm going to put it in the deepest valley of my crimping pliers. Then I'm just going to go ahead and crimp. See how it separates those wires? And then I'm going to turn in a 90-degree angle. I'm going to put it in the next notch, and it's going to fold those wires. And I'm just going to move up our crimping pliers, and that little fold will keep getting smaller and smaller. So there we go. And if you want, you can cover that with a crimp tube, or a crimp cover, excuse me. So now I'm going to go ahead, and you could put this part in the middle of your bracelet if you like, but I like the asymmetrical look. I always have. If you look back at jewelry I sold for years on Etsy, most of it was asymmetrical. I mean, sometimes I'll do a symmetrical necklace, but it's not my favorite thing. If it's your thing, that's totally cool. They're beautiful. I just tend to design wonky. Maybe it's because I'm wonky. So we have enough beads here. Let's move down. So that's what it looks like so far. And then we'll just slip this guy inside here. That's probably going to move around a little bit, and we can cut that later on. So that's the beginning of our bracelet. If you have a decorative clasp that you wouldn't mind seeing on the top of your wrist, that could work here too. Sometimes, and you can also hang a charm from your clasp, and it can be removable if you put it on that clasp. So anyway, how many times can I say clasp in a video, right? So I'm just going to pile on some glass beads, and you can include spacers, whatever you want, but I wanted to make this bracelet entirely from this kit to show you, you know, absolutely you can make beautiful jewelry from one kit. Okay. And then obviously just make it to the dimensions you like. If you're making it for somebody special, ask them what their wrist size is. I mean, as a jewelry designer, I kind of know my friends' wrist sizes in case I want to surprise them with jewelry, and they're totally okay with that. But if you're making it for, like, let's say for sale, I don't know what the average wrist length is, but I always used to make them 7 inches, 7.5 inches. And then you can always, you know, restring them, or if you're making several of the same bracelet, you can just offer an extender or whatever. So there's our bracelet so far. That's pretty tiny. I don't think that's gonna be long enough. Not for my big wrists anyway. So let's see. Well, it's not that tiny, but you do want, this is 7 inches. it looks tiny because these beads are larger. So these are 10 millimeter, but this guy's probably like 18 millimeter flat. So you want to make it a little bit longer to make up for the circumference that's being taken up by the larger beads. So I'm just going to put a couple more beads on, and then I'm going to measure it on my wrist because I'm here. Okay, so this is long enough, and I'm going to go ahead and grab another crimp bead. Okay, I'm going to slip the crimp bead onto our wire. Oops, I grabbed two. And then I am going to finish the bracelet off like we did on the other side, but in this on this side I'm going to use one of the jump rings supplied. Just want to make sure it's super closed. There's no gap between the ends of the jump ring, and it looks like we're okay. I'm going to put it through. And then I'm going to come back through my crimp bead. I'm going to cut the tip of this off because it's a little bent. Okay. Come back through our crimp bead. I know there's a ton of wire in the way, but that's okay. And then I'm going to come back down through a couple of these beads to get some leverage so I can pull it through. There we go. And then you want to grab your end piece so you don't get a knot. Okay. Now you don't, and I say this in every stranding video, you don't want to have it in a straight line. Your wrist isn't a straight line, and you're going to be upset when your bracelet breaks because it's too much tension. So we'll keep pulling, but we're seeing that it's in a curve. I need to pull a little bit more. And you want to make sure there aren't any gaps between beads like there. So we'll keep pulling. If you want, you can hold on to your jump ring with a pair of pliers to make it a little easier. I'm just going to keep going until I don't have any gaps showing between my beads. There we go. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Again, you can flat crimp. I'm not going to do that today. Sometimes it can be a little daunting to get between these beads. It's okay. Just take your time, and if you need to redo it, we didn't even cut our wire, so you can just crack that crimp bead off. We did good enough. Just turn that 108 or 90 degrees, I mean. We'll just keep kind of going up the pliers there. So I'm going to cut my wire as closely as I can to this bead. Make sure you don't cut your main strand, and we'll cut this guy as well. There is some room between these two beads, but that's okay. This bead, it's because this crimp bead's going kind of into that bead right there. So here is our first piece of jewelry. Oops. And I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. So there's our little bracelet. It's super cute. I love unique looking bracelets. I mean generic looking bracelets where you just do a couple patterns, totally my style too. So, but I thought it was cute. We could just do a little, spice it up a little bit, right? Beautiful. It will go with anything green or any, because it's got 4 different colors of green in it, or something teal. All right, there's our first piece, all from the box. The next piece I'm going to do, super simple, super simple. I'm just going to grab one strand of the gemstone beads, this 8mm, and any focal that you like. So I grabbed a focal bead, and it's got rhinestones and it's gold, matches really well, and it's going to dress up these gemstone beads right away. So I'm gonna grab, you can do memory wire, but I'm just gonna use some elastic cord, and I'm gonna put this guy on first, so because he has the biggest hole, I think, and that way we can hide the knot in that bead later. And I'm just gonna put these beads on. If you like a certain bead more, that's totally fine. You don't have to do it in the order that they're on the strand. But again, we're just gonna put them on in whatever order we want, and make it a custom bracelet. Okay, so I used all but 2 beads from that strand, and I am just going to trim off part of our elastic cord, and then we always want to pre-stretch, and you don't want to just stretch the ends, you want to stretch the entire bracelet, and that's because elastic cord will stretch over time if you don't pre-stretch it, and then your bracelets will be saggy, and we don't want saggy bracelets, do we? So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot and then find my glue. And do one more. And then I'm going to find my glue, and you know, it's always a hot mess. I need to buy more, but I never remember when I'm out or when I'm shopping. So I use GS Hypo Cement almost exclusively on my stretch bracelets. Make sure that knot is nice and tight, and then we'll put a little dab of glue on both sides of that knot. Whoops. Sorry, it's a hot mess express in here. And then take that little extra bit off. Okay, and then I always just kind of do that. And then we'll set that aside to dry. I'm gonna make one more stretch bracelet, and then we'll make a necklace. The stretch bracelet I'm gonna make, I'm actually adding in some spacer beads, but whatever spacer beads you have on hand. I have this light green and gray and taupey strand, and then this green bead was also in the lampwork mix, and I thought those went well together. And then I'm just grabbing some gold spacers from my stash, so whatever you have is going to work here. The thought behind these gemstone bracelets is that they're more simple, you know, you want to let the stones speak for themselves. So but you can put whatever you want in your bracelet. We're just really going to follow the same formula that we did with the last bracelet. We have this one in the middle. I think I'm going to put, I don't know if I'm going to put the spacer beads on the sides or if we're going to have a bead there, gemstone there. Let's check. So let's check it next to one with a spacer. I gotta cut my nails way too long. And then we'll put this guy through. Yeah, I think that's sweet. Little gemstone spaced by the gold spacer. So I'll go ahead and I just want to see, I'm gonna start with this bead because I want to be able to hide the knot in that bead later. So I'm gonna just take those off. And we'll start with this side. And then we'll keep going. I think for this one, I'm going to do 2 or 3 beads and then a spacer. I'm going to try and sort these a little bit by color first. So I'm really wanting to use mostly the greenish beads, the more green beads. That one has some green in it, but like that one's all brown. I think I'm going to put those to the side. Unless I have to use them, I'm going to shy away from them. But the ones with some green in them, we can go in the bracelet. Yeah, we'll have to use some. I think we'll probably go to the gray next and shy away from the brown more. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Do one more. Okay, so I have my pattern on this one worked out, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing we did on the last bracelet. Stretch. Okay. And for those of you who haven't made stretch bracelets before or don't trust stretch bracelets, I've made hundreds, and I do mean hundreds of these things, maybe even 1,000 of them, I don't know. But the only time I ever have them pop on me is while I'm making them. So like once they're made and made well, they're not going to pop. You have to be careful. You don't use sharp beads, that your elastic cord doesn't have a kink in it, because that will cause the bracelet to pop. The only other reason why it might pop once it's pop or break once it's on is if you're putting too much stress on it. And I say stress because I've watched people put on bracelets and go like this to get them on. You don't do that with stretch bracelets. You want to help it over your hand like that instead of going like this to get it down with one hand. So if that would be something to educate your customers with, or a person you gift the bracelet with, just the proper way to put on a stretch bracelet. I mean, you don't really think about it. You think, oh, it's an easy bracelet, we're just going to throw it on and go. But if you want your bracelet to last a while, make sure you take care of it, and don't get it wet. If you can, try not to get it wet. I mean, I wash my hands with my bracelets all the time and I don't mind, but I am a jewelry maker and I can fix a broken bracelet. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dot this with some glue. And then make sure you close your glue as quickly as possible. And then we'll go ahead and work that glue into that knot, put it aside so we can move on to the next little thing that we're gonna make. So we've made 3 bracelets so far just from this kit, and we have tons, and I mean, I'm not even gonna use half the beads that are in this kit yet. Let's make a really quick pair of earrings to match our bracelet, and by quick I mean 3 minutes and go. So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the hole on these beads might be a little too big for what I'm thinking, but let's take a look. Grabbing a head pin. I think you have to be careful that the head pin isn't smaller than the hole on the bead. If it is, nope, we don't have a problem here. Now, you can wire wrap these. I'm just going to do a simple loop. If you're feeling fancy, you can do another bead right on top of this one, or hang another one by a simple loop above this one. Oh, I opened both of them. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Close that up. We have our tiny, quick earring. Some people don't like big, flashy earrings, and that is totally okay. I can't wear earrings at all unless it's a solid gold post, so I feel it for people who can't wear the long dangly earrings or the super heavy earrings. We have these little itty bitties. And if you sell jewelry or you're thinking about selling jewelry, you can always, oh, I did it again. You can always include a little extra free pair that's made out of one earring and one ear wire. Oh, this guy's a little hot mess. I wonder if I did that. So I'll just grab another one. And include it with the bracelet or the necklace you're making, or you can have them on your table. Really, you know, cheap add-on to go with what else they've bought. Here we go. Cute little quick pair of earrings to match our bracelet. And then we're going to make a necklace. So this one, I grabbed some things from my stash, but the main items from the box, or the main items in the necklace, are going to be this. The 6mm, one of the 6mm strands of beads, and one of the 8mm strands of beads. I'll be adding in some crystals that I just grabbed out of my stash, not 100% sure where it came from, probably Tucson. I grabbed some bead caps and some spacers. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the rest of my wire, and this is almost the perfect length for what I want to do. And I'm gonna go ahead and start it off like we did with the bracelet, just to make sure we know, well, you know what, let's plan out our necklace first. So I'm going to open up 6mm beads, the 8mm beads, and again, I'm going for simplicity today. We're just going to do a quick pattern. You can make ornate, you guys know I like making ornate necklaces, you guys know that, but I love a simple necklace too. So we'll need a jump ring for the middle of this necklace to hang our pendant from. Keep losing one pair of my pliers. No idea where they are. I mean, they're in this room, but where in the room? No idea. They're probably even on my desk. So there we go. Start that off by putting that on a jump ring. And then just gonna take my beads off of that filament. And the 8mm over here. I love these colors. They're so fun. And that little pop of peach and the little pop of yellow and cream in there are nice. And then we'll grab some of these. and some of these. You can use a bead board just for more intricate patterns. I think I would do that, but I think I'm just going to figure out the pattern I want and then kind of start beading. So these are going to go around those. Not all of them though. Okay. All right. And I kind of mixed in, I think, those 2 leftover beads from our bracelet because they worked with this color palette. I'm kind of going for pink, pink, gray, gray, yellow, yellow. Sorry, my glue stain over here on this mat. All right, and then I'm gonna go back to gray or black or whatever color that is. Cream. And you see that I'm spacing them apart. So I'm starting with the 8mm because they're the largest, but and they're almost like the focals, but I am going to fill in the spaces later. So I don't know if I have enough of these bead caps. Oh, I do. So I'm just putting those bead caps next to our 8mm beads. If you don't have bead caps, just use a daisy spacer or some spacer, but you can use a jump ring as a spacer too. If you just put it as, slide it on like you would a bead. I think I moved something. Okay, so gray, gray, pink, pink, yellow, yellow, black, black, cream, cream. Okay. And move that way. So if we need more, I have more of those 8mm beads. And then we're going to put in some of these 6mm. Not too worried about what color I'm choosing for these. Okay, and then we'll do a crystal. Okay, and then I think, do we have enough? Yeah, we have enough 6mm beads. I'm going to put another 6mm bead in there, and we're going to use some of these guys too. Okay, I'm going to move this crystal a little bit out of the way. So we're going to move this over. So it will be stone, silver stone, crystal, bead cap. Then we'll start over again. So I'm going to put 2 crystals in the middle. Right there. This is where a bead mat or bead board would probably come in handy, but I'm in too deep now. So I'm going to start my I'm going to start because I don't want to mess up the board any more than it already is. And I'm going to put a clamp on the end of my beading wire because I want to be able to move everything all the way down and not have to worry. So got my clamp on there, and contrary to what you would think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start in the middle, work up, and then come back to the other side and do that side. So we're gonna start with our pendant because I want to see what it looks like, and then I'm gonna put on a crystal. I'm gonna put on a stone bead. I am going to put on our spacer, another stone, crystal, bead cap, stone, bead cap. So this is our pattern. Okay. And just, 4 or 5 beads changed that look. Really, it kind of made it a little fancier, right? So I'm going to move that down and show you what it looks like next to our pendant. I'm going to go ahead and bead the whole thing up the side, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Okay, so here's what we have on the left-hand side of the necklace so far. So pretty. Really, just little touches can perk something up right away. And those are such good colors on those stones. And it brings out the stone in the middle and the silver on the pendant. I'm going to go ahead and bead up the other side, and then we will finish the necklace. Okay, so I finished up the sides of our necklace. I ran out of these smaller 6mm stone beads, so I just put on another metal bead and then 8 crystals, and I finished this side already. So I'm going to put my jump ring on this side, but I'm first going to put on our crimp bead. Oh, that crimp bead was a little wonky, so let me grab one that's not wonky. Oh, or several. Okay. And then we'll put on our jump ring. Make sure it's twisted closed enough. Put the wire back through. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and put that down through a couple of these beads to get some leverage to pull. Goodness, this end is curled and it's just been annoying through the whole necklace. But that's because I've used this strand to string a bracelet and a necklace without cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and pull here. We want to make sure our necklace is loosey-goosey, but we don't want any gaps between our beads. So this one, I'm going to go ahead and trim this wire just so you don't end up with a huge gap. Just the one that's sticking out, not the main wire. Okay, so go ahead and pull. Make sure. I'm gonna grab some pliers. Hold that jump ring with my pliers to make it easier to pull. Take your time, there's no rush. Oh, Careful, Brittany. There we go. Okay, so I'll go ahead and crimp like we've done what we did on the bracelet. It can get kind of tricky when you're at the end here. I'm going to cut that off because he's in our way. Goldie's getting very impatient. She knows we're way past dinner time. And we're going to go ahead and fold that. Turn sideways. Slip it into the next rung on our crimp bead. And then we're just going to walk it up the crimping pliers. There we go. And then we'll cut our tail. There we go. Here's our beautiful necklace that we made, and we still have tons of beads. You can make a bracelet, matching bracelet. I mean, we have strands and strands and strands, and we made 5 items today. So go ahead and close that up. Here is our necklace. I will show you in a against the backdrop in just a moment, but isn't that fun? And it was kind of simple, but let me show you what's left. We have all of these beads. I didn't figure out what to do with those yet. These pearls, all these gemstone strands. We have the rest of the findings kit, the beads you see here, and these. And then I'm just going to grab my gemstone bracelets and cut off the tails on my wire or my elastic cord. Goldie's staring at me like I owe her money. And we'll do that on the second bracelet as well. And then I'll be able to show you our lovely collection that we made. I'm going to tighten that a little bit. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our necklace, and I'll include pictures of just each piece after we show everything. So with our pretty pendant and the stone beads included in the kit. And we made a bracelet. Really cute. And we made a very fast pair of earrings. And we made 2 bracelets. So we made 5 items today. That bracelet's so cute. And these don't, I mean, they don't not go together, but I would wear them together if I was wearing green and black. So really cute. Love them. I love how it showcases that nice lampwork bead, and then any focal bead's going to showcase how pretty these I think jaspers are. So yeah, let me know which item was your favorite. I'm going to go with this bracelet was my favorite, then this necklace, and then this bracelet, and then this one's it's just a really fun, fast piece. So, and which I love these beads. So thank you so much for watching. Again, the code is TURQST35 for 35% off your first box. Let me know what you thought. What was your favorite thing in the box, and what was your favorite piece of jewelry? And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye. Stay tuned for Goldie. Hi, cutie. Hi. Yeah, it's a good girl, huh? You're always a good girl. say hi. Yes, you're such a cutie. Yeah. So little baby. He's a little baby.